All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour, where the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in New Delhi, and he'll be holding high-level meetings throughout the day with a focus on boosting bilateral ties with India. Now, Antony Blinken will be meeting with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and also with India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. Now, remember, this is Antony Blinken's very first visit to India after the Biden administration took charge. In the month of March earlier this year, the US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin had visited India. In the month of April, the US Special Envoy on Climate Change, John Kerry, had also paid a visit to New Delhi. And right after US Secretary of State's arrival, the US State Department has issued what is known as a fact sheet on India and also the US deepening strategic partnership. The fact sheet focuses on areas of Indo-Pacific, deterring our adversaries, combating the COVID-19 pandemic and the climate crisis. A number of different crucial issues will of course come up for discussion during the course of Blinken's visit. The fallout of the US troop pullout from Afghanistan and also the impact of the territorial gains made by the Taliban could dominate the discussions. Pakistan-sponsored terrorism and the Indo-Pacific cooperation will also be on the agenda. The two sides are expected to explore ways and means to deepen collaboration on the issue of defense, and this will of course cover policy exchanges, exercises, defense transfers and technologies. India and the United States are likely to take the Quad vaccine initiative further, and this is to enable the supply of vaccines produced in India from early 2022 to countries in the Indo-Pacific region. A top US government official, Dean Thompson, has said that Blinken and Austin look forward to hosting their Indian counterparts in the annual US-India 2+2 ministerial dialogue later this year. Indian ambassador to the United States, Taranjeet Singh Sandhu, is also expected to participate in the high-level meetings. All right, now to give us more insights in terms of what this meeting, of course, will mean, we are joined in by WION's Siddhant Sibal, who's joining us live on this broadcast. Good morning to you, Siddhant. Bring us up to speed with what is expected with Antony Blinken's visit to India.
Well, today is the main day of engagement. Almost on an hourly basis, he is meeting or having some kind of important conversation. In fact, his first conversation, his meeting with the civil society members have started, and we do expect the transcript very soon. Next, of course, will be his meeting will be with the Indian NSA Ajit Doval. That will be the first meeting he's going to have here in Delhi with an Indian official, a top Indian official. But nonetheless, the important conversation that will take place between him and his counterpart happens at 12 noon. Remember, this is the fourth conversation between US Secretary of State Blinken and the Indian External Affairs Minister. Both have already met in person in London at the sideline of the G7 Foreign Ministers meeting. Then, of course, the bilateral visit of the Indian External Affairs Minister to US, and then finally the G20 Foreign Ministers meeting in Italy. But it's the press conference where we will see a candid conversation with the Indian media as well, given the fact that there are a number of focus areas, whether it's Afghanistan, Indo-Pacific, Quad, the vaccine initiative under the Quad process. In fact, this visit is expected to lay out the roadmap for the Quad in-person meeting, which Washington is very keen to host on. Already we know that the virtual meeting has happened, in which the Quad vaccine initiative was announced, and India is at the heart of this initiative, manufacturing vaccines that will be given to countries in the Indo-Pacific region. These vaccines will be started to be given to these countries, the countries in the Indo-Pacific, from early next year. So that, of course, remains the top priority as well. India is expected to press US on making sure that supply chains are open when it comes to crucial materials used for manufacture of vaccines.
Absolutely, indeed. Now, this visit by Antony Blinken is, of course, coming at a time when the United States is pulling its troops out of Afghanistan. By the 31st of August, we are given to understand that all US troops will be out of Afghan soil. So how much of the Afghanistan issue will dominate the talks today?
Well, undoubtedly, it's Afghanistan that's going to hog the major portion of conversation with whether it's NSA, whether it's the Indian External Affairs Minister, or whether it's the Indian Prime Minister. The call on that happens around 4:15 p.m. And we know that how situation has been deteriorating with Taliban making increased gains, India is going to press on Washington to make sure that there is a sustained pressure on Islamabad when it comes to the issue of cross-border terrorism. We know that when it comes to Afghanistan, Islamabad has been aiding, supporting international terror groups and, of course, Taliban as well. In fact, earlier this month, we saw the Afghan president publicly lashing on the Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan in Tashkent on the sideline or at the Uzbekistan Connectivity Summit, saying that almost 1,000 jihadis have crossed into Afghanistan from Pakistan. In fact, the Afghan government has also told in New Delhi that Lashkar-e-Taiba has taken ground in the ungoverned places in Afghanistan amidst the ruckus which is being created, the increased violence level which we have seen. So it is the worry regarding Afghanistan, regarding the issue of terrorism that is going to dominate the agenda on how to take forward things. Both Washington and New Delhi are on the same page, but what New Delhi would like to see, and of course Washington would like to see, is a power-sharing agreement between the Taliban side and the Afghan government side. Doha talks are going, but they are taking like a very slow process. We know the Taliban is dragging its feet. It is trying to gain time, buy time, by coming with various diversionary tactics, but we really don't know what's going to happen in Afghanistan.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Siddhant Sibbal, for joining us and getting us those latest updates. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.